Hello everybody, this is Epsilon144. This video is going to talk about how to fix the lag in FL Studio. If you experience any lag, I know I have in the past, and there are some ways you could fix it in the actual settings of FL Studio, in the audio settings, but a more effective way to fix this problem is to go into the actual processor and look at your processor and see how much percentage of CPU FL Studio is taking, and if it's taking too much, it'll start to slow down because your processor is being bogged down with too much information. Alright, so I'll show you the settings I'm using here in FL Studio. First of all, here's FL Studio, and for audio settings, I'm basically just doing this. I have Core ASIO set as the sound driver. Make sure you use Core ASIO because you really want to route your information for audio. If you have an audio interface, if you don't have an audio interface, it doesn't matter. But if you have an audio interface, you want to route the audio interface through the mixer here. So make sure all the input and output of your audio interface is coming through the mixer in FL Studio. Right here, input. Make sure you choose your audio interface, and then output, whatever you want it to be. This video doesn't talk about that. If you want to learn about the input output, I have videos on the mixer in FL Studio. Check out the FL Studio playlist or on my website. But sample rate, I have it set to 44,100. Internal clock source, all this stuff. I'm sure there's something here I can improve. I haven't really looked at this in depth, but priority high, just in the middle, underruns 23, playback tracking hybrid, and then offset. Alright, so CPU, multi-threaded generated processing, multi-threaded mixer processing, smart disable are all checked. Align tick lengths, not checked. Resampling in the mixer, have it at 24 point sync, and yeah. So those are the settings that I have. It seems to work perfectly fine here in this system. Okay, the real thing though you want to do is on a Windows computer, you want to search for what's called the let me look. It's called the. I was gonna write this down actually, but. You want to look for something called the resource monitor. So search on your Windows system. You're probably using Windows with FL Studio, but search for resource monitor and task manager. All right, so just find those on your computer, and then you'll be able to see what percentage of processing that's actually taking. So here I have this up and running. All right, and you'll notice these top four go over 100%. But my computer's a dual core processor, so I could push up to 200%. All right, so you'll notice OBS right now that I'm using to stream this video through or record this video through is taking 98.7% of the CPU power. FL Studio is taking 14%, just empty, without anything in FL Studio here. There's nothing even in it. It's just open. It's taking 14% of the CPU processor. Okay, and then Ableton Live is taking 13%. Alright, once again, this is called the resource monitor on a Windows. So look that up, or task manager, and you'll see what percentage your things are taking. What happens is if this jams up into the maximum limit, if you have a single core processor, one processor basically that has one core, you're only allowed to have 100%. So right now I would experience lag because it's pushing into that 100%. However, I have a dual core, so I could reach 200%. If you have a quad core, you could reach 400%. So you're able to do more things on your system if you have more cores or whatever. So all this stuff just adds up. All right, there's a 5.5% on Wine server. I don't know what that is, but it's just running on my system somehow. There's a MIDI server, 6.5%. Some of these come and go. And if you're really close to the limit and one of these pop in there for a few seconds or maybe a minute, during that time you'll experience lag. So, and then when it goes away, it might be okay, So if it's working for a while and it's not, it's probably because something popped into your processor. Something popped in here just to run for a couple seconds, and then it slowed down your whole system. All right, so right now you can see live is 13.2, FL Studio is 13.1, OBS you can't see it. It's what I'm using to. It's right here. You know, you'll see it ricochet back, but it's what I'm using to make the video with. But that's all taking a lot of processor. Where to go? Right there. All right, so the ways you want to fix this is make sure things you aren't using are shut off, are not running when you're working in that FL Studio. I do know that if your battery is low, if you're under 5%, the computer runs a lot more. It takes a lot more power to run the software like FL Studio. So make sure your computer is charged past 5%. Make sure you have a good charge on your computer. Make sure things you aren't using basically are turned off. You know, things like just random applications might be open, your internet browser might be open, you might have something scanning, you know, some kind of like virus scanning thing going on in the background. If you have all this stuff, maybe like a game is downloading something in the background, all this stuff adds up together, and then if you have too much stuff going on at the same time, it's going to experience lag. So make sure you have the system kind of cleaned up when you're ready to produce. All right, and if you experience too much lag, you should be fine within FL Studio once you actually get into the system. FL Studio won't get too crazy. I don't know if there's actually a monitor in FL Studio that tells you how much processor it's taking. I know in Ableton, if you look in Ableton here, you'll see Ableton says 1-2%. All right, I guess that's on top of the base level of 13.2. But you know, with nothing going on, the only thing in Ableton I have is my microphone here. That's it. We're looking at 2%, 1-2%. And I don't know how accurate that is, because if you do look back here in the monitor, it does say, you know, live is at 13.5. So I guess that adds on to the 13.5, you know. And then even this monitor, you see when I open it up, it pops in there for a second, but now it's gone, you see. But if something comes in there while you're working on a track and that pushes it into the limit, you'll experience some lag while the thing comes and leaves your system, if that makes any sense. I hope this helps. I think it is like at the root of the problem. This is the very deep part of the problem. All right, there are obviously settings in FL Studio and stuff, but at the very, very core of everything, this is probably the big solution to fixing the lag in any software, whether it's FL Studio or Ableton or whatever. But I think this is at the core of it, and if you can get your computer CPU percentage under control, you should have a pretty good time producing music in FL Studio. All right, so I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions at all, you can contact me in the comments below, or drop me an email on my website, epsilon144.com. I have other videos on there that teach FL Studio, and you can all find them probably in the related links over there and in my channel and stuff. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Like and subscribe for more videos on FL Studio, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.